Let's talk about strike. If you're not familiar with the theatrical term strike, it's when the stage crew tears down all the sets, lights, and other support gear after the final performance of the production run. The following time lapse is from the 2013 strike of the production of Hair at Cal State LA. This show had a fairly large set, so rather than staying late after the final performance for strike, we elected to call the crew in for a couple of days the following week, Monday and Tuesday. Notice how the stage crew methodically approaches each task. They have scenery carts and other carts available for scenery as it comes down. They take turns between lighting and scenic strikes as the space permits. Everything is organized as it is being removed, and as carts of scenery fill up, they get taken away to storage. This is a really good model for how to approach a scenic strike. Oftentimes in educational theater, we are scheduling the strikes on Saturday night after the cast and crew have had a performance, and sometimes after the cast and crew have had 2 performances. And scheduling everyone for another 2 to 3 or 4 hours or more after that long day of work, that's probably something we could avoid. In some educational models, the idea is that the cast and the crew and everyone who participated in the show has a responsibility to participate in the strike. And the best way to do that is while everyone is there and do it immediately after the final performance. While this works for some smaller spaces and some smaller sets, when your sets and shows start to become more complex, when they inhabit larger facilities, when they grow into larger components of scenery, lighting, video, audio, complex props, and other things, scheduling another 6 to 8 hour crew call immediately after the final performance and asking everyone to stay and participate is setting up the potential for accidents and injuries due to exhaustion and really long work days. When you're planning your strike and thinking about using your cast and stage crew from the show, think about their exhaustion level, think about the cost-benefit analysis of their participation in the skilled tasks versus the quantity of unskilled tasks you actually have to complete at strike, and ask yourself, is this the right model for this production? And it may be different from production to production. So don't expect strike to be a one size, one model fits all type of situation. In the case of our hair strike, we thought it was better to schedule a fresh crew in on a Monday and Tuesday, 2 8-hour days, and take the set down in a methodical and organized process, rather than trying to do that extending into the evening after the final performance. We had a good balance of the skilled, more experienced stage technicians versus the unskilled volunteer labor that you get from a cast and company staying afterwards after the final performance. If you are going to build your program to require the cast to stay after the final performance and help with strike, it's probably incumbent upon you to make sure that they are participating in the build. If they're participating in the build, then they can contribute to the teardown because now they know how things went together. They know where things come from. If they didn't participate in the build whatsoever, then their extra help is not going to make the strike go faster. In fact, it's just going to clog up the process with a lot of people not knowing what to do and lots of people standing around asking, what can I do next? The best stage strike crew is going to consist of a heavier proportion of personnel that know where things go, where things came from, and how things come apart because they participated in the building of this show or they've participated in the build of enough shows to know how things come together and come apart. Remember that working late into the evening after a long day of show performances only increases the risk of accident and injury. Also make note that the stage crew did not just pull things down quickly and make a bunch of piles everywhere to be sorted out later. They pulled things down methodically and in an organized fashion. They made sure there were scenery carts available and waiting for the scenery as it came down. They worked together as a team. They were all working towards the same goal, and their goal was to be safe and organized and effective and efficient. In the end, the show was taken down over a 2-day strike period with the crew working 2 8-hour days, no extra time, no overtime, no excessive long days, and it came down efficiently and organized. And we were left with minimal piles of clutter and debris to deal with afterwards, because we had the time to think about it as we took it down, and we had the time to organize it as it came down, and we had the time to take away the trash and dispose of it as it came down. Enjoy the video.